Welcome to the Metal Collector. Today we're going to take a look on the 10 death metal albums I have on my playlist at the moment. Stay tuned. How's it going, YouTube? Welcome once again to the Metal Collector. This video is, like I said in the beginning, is to show you the death metal albums I'm listening to right now at the moment. It's you can call it a playlist. It's changing from week to week. Some of the albums, I'm going to listen to these maybe the next month or so on a regular basis, and some of them will be changed out. But this is the 10 albums I've been listening mostly to for the last week or so. And let's start out with these three albums with Vomitory, the Swedish death metal gods. Revelation, Nausea. I don't really know how to pronounce the last word. And Blood Rapture, and the following album, Primal Massacre. Great albums, especially Revelation, Nausea is really good. I bought these recently at EMP Shop. They had an offer, and they didn't cost that much, and also an offer where you could get free shipping for 250 Danish crowns. If you bought stuff for 250 Danish crowns, you could get free shipping. So I bought these three albums, and I'm ashamed to admit it, but I don't really have that much Vomitory in my collection yet. But this band is really good, and I'm just sad that I didn't start to listening to these guys before, or really digging deep into the band. I will for now, because these three albums really convinced me that this band is really good. I've been listening to some of the stuff, over the years on the internet or at friends' places, and it's just, I always had, I have to check Vomitory out sometimes. But now, I'm going to dig into this band. The next is Cephalic Carnage with Misled by Certainty. This band I have never really, really got into this. This is the only album I have. I have a friend that is a big fan of the band and said, check out these releases, and so this was the album I bought some years ago. And from time to time I really tried to get into this, but it's, I don't mind progressive, technical death metal, not at all, but sometimes, at least on this album, it gets a little bit, what can you say, over much. There are some cool moments, but I still tries to get this under my skin. So perhaps one day. So this is in my playlist at the moment, just trying to get it to grow, and perhaps I'll check out the other albums by the band. My friend says it's really good, and I know these guys are very highly appreciated among the brutal, technical, progressive death metal bands. So, yeah. Now for some slamming, brutal death metal. These three guys. I bought these two albums. Let's take these two first. At the same time, I bought the three Vomitory albums. This is Congenital Anomalies, and these guys are called, what was it? Inanimate Prognosis. And I have never known or heard about these guys before, but like you can see on the album covers, it's more or less, it speaks for itself. It's brutal, slamming death metal, and I was in the mood for something like that, so I bought these two albums. They didn't cost anything, not that much, 40 Danish crowns or something. It wasn't anything, so I bought these, and then I started to re-listening. It's a Danish band called Septic Congestion, and the album is called Souls to Consume. Yeah. The only problem I have with it, I like slamming brutal death metal when I'm in the right mood, and especially this one, I've heard it a couple of times the last days, and it's pretty good. And this is also a good. It's heavy as fuck, but the only problem I have with actually all three albums here is there is a drummer missing. It's programmed drums, and I'm a drummer myself, so of course I have a problem with that. But if you can abstract from that, if you can't, you know, just forget about there is a missing drummer, then it's pretty good. But I have some problems, you know, and I think it was this band I checked out to see some live clips with them on YouTube, and there wasn't a drummer. It seemed like it was only these guys standing on the stage and they had a drum track or something. I don't know. I think it's a shame. But I can say some of the drum parts here is also fast as hell. So good luck with finding a drummer that can play that fast. So the next one is Dequisitor, also a Danish band. And their debut full-length album released in 2016. They've just released a new one. I haven't got that yet. But this is underground, very underground. And it's harsh, raw death metal. And the drummer is just amazing. It's breathless. You can the energy and the tempo he plays in is just overwhelming. Check these guys out. If you're into underground, brutal, aggressive, harsh, raw death metal, check Dequisitor out. It's very good. And the last two is with the same band as well. It's Grace Disgraced from Russia. It's technical progressive death metal, not in the same vein as Cephalic Carnage, but this is more like, you know, Death, the band Death with Chuck Schuldiner, and also, you know, they have a female vocalist, Pauline, I think that's the name. She sounds a little bit like Chuck as well. And the music, it's very much inspired by Death. And these two are the two first albums. And again, from time to time I put these on to make them grow on me. It's good albums and I like them, but I need them to get really under my skin. So these two are in my playlist bunk at the moment. From Russia, Grace Disgraced, and it's called Enthrallment Traced, and the other one is The Primal Cause Woman Mental, something like that. Anyways, good albums if you're in the right mood again for some technical death metal in the veins of Death. So these 10 death metal albums are the ones I've been listening mostly to the last couple of weeks. So thank you for watching and see you again in the next video. Bye.